Well, this is supposed to be Steigerwald v. Fedko, but we agree on the hockey. We'll get to that in a second. Before you came in, I was saying just what you were saying to Ken, that after watching these 3 games and reading and hearing the commentary and analysis after it, I think this may be a classic case of the media and fans, and I don't deny being caught up in it at times in myself. I have to catch myself. Focusing on what the Pittsburgh team didn't do or can't do,
right,
and saying how bad the Pittsburgh team is, and giving when that may be true to some extent, but it's out of balance. This should be more about how good the Islanders are playing and how much better they are than maybe most people thought they were, than what the Penguins aren't doing, because they're a fast, talented team and they're playing well.
They are.
You seem to agree.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, a case of media arrogance. I think that our local media, it's not. I don't want to criticize our local media, because we have great writers both at all our papers, including, of course, the Trib. But they see the Penguins all the time.
Yeah.
And so they're getting a perspective of the Penguins. And, of course, we have unbelievable players. And I think, I think we have the best team in the NHL when all is healthy. But the Islanders are a really, really good hockey team. They're really good. No one should have said the Penguins, after what I've seen in 3 games, and maybe I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. It's my opinion. After watching 3 games, and I'll go on record saying I didn't know a lot about the Islanders for watching these 3 games. I didn't. So I'm not going to go on and say I was some expert. I called this. After watching 3 games, the Islanders are a really good hockey team, I think. No one should have picked the Penguins to sweep this. I don't know if any media people did. Nobody. And the Penguins are going to be lucky to get out of this series, and they're going to be real lucky to get out in 5, which was I saw a lot of predictions. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the Penguins. I don't think there's anything wrong at all. I think Crosby's playing great. Yeah, they made some stupid plays.
But see, some of these stupid plays, and so much of the discussion is about legitimate discussion about the Penguins not playing their game, not dumping the puck, playing, not getting back, not back checking enough, not playing good enough defense, not playing enough under control, all those things. But sometimes the team you're playing doesn't let you do the things you want to do because of the way it plays. And I think, you say, well, they're standing up at the blue line and the Islanders are blowing right past them. Well, that's called speed. Maybe they can't match their speed. So the Penguins have to do different things. And I think, I summed it up pretty simply yesterday when I tweeted. Here's my analysis of the game yesterday. The Penguins had Sidney Crosby. The Islanders didn't. If that's the other way around, they don't win the game.
Absolutely. That's brilliant, and that is brilliant. They don't win the series.
Simple.
They don't win the series, okay?
Right. Simple.
It is that simple, John.
He's not there playing. If he's still out with his jaw, they're in trouble.
One thing you can do...
Although they did win the first game without him.
Analyzing these first 3 games, one thing after now 3 games, I truly believe is this is not comparable to last year's hideous loss to the Flyers. Last year's game, the Penguins did stink. The Penguins played not to their capabilities and made a Flyers team look way better than they are. I think the Penguins are running into a young, very talented team that's well coached, that's hungry, that's on the verge about going on a 3 or 4 year run of greatness. And the Penguins better be really careful or they're going to get knocked out by a team that's almost as good as them. That is completely different than last year when Fleury choked. Last year they played stupid hockey, and they were not playing up to the capabilities. I think this is a far more dangerous situation. The Penguins could play great hockey and still lose this series, and nobody was saying that last week. And maybe I'm an idiot, and maybe the next 3 games will be 5-0, and Tavares gets shut down again. I don't think that's happening. I think the Penguins have found themselves up against an upstart young team whose future's ahead of them.
And matches up pretty well.
Matches up well with them. Skates great. When the Penguins make a mistake, The Islanders are going to make them pay for that. Okay, so it's easier said than done not to make a mistake. I think. Listen, I truly believe this, and I am not a guy of old school cliches. I think the Penguins absolutely bought into their own press clippings for a little bit in this series, and they're finding out the hard way that, and I think they found out being down 2-0 yesterday that they better be careful. This series is going to be over the other way. When it was 2-0 yesterday, I'm sure I was sitting there going, "This is unbelievable. They're going to get blown out in this game."
It's funny. I thought that killing the Tanner Glass penalty was huge.
Absolutely.
It was 2-0, and then he takes a stupid penalty, and now they got a chance to go up 3-0. I don't know about, they ended up coming back from 2 down. I don't know if 3-0, but that place, they would have torn the building down to a 3-0 lead. But I think people are missing here is that the Islanders are, they talk about, well, the only way the Penguins are winning was special teams. Special teams are part of hockey. If I'm playing against you and I have more talent than you do, we're playing a one-on-one basketball game. Maybe the only way you can stop me is by bumping me a little bit more often, or holding me as I go by to try to go around you, and I'm going to get free throws and I'm going to beat you. But that's part of the game. You got to do what you got to do to try to stop me. In hockey, you got to do what you got to do to try to stop the Penguins. If they get a penalty, well, we better get our penalty killing working pretty good, because we're going to take a lot of penalties on these guys because they're really talented. They're going to put 4 and 5 guys out on the ice that each one of them is better than anybody we have on our team except for Tavares, maybe. So when they're out there, we're going to be taking liberties that we hope we get away with, and if we don't, they're going to cap. That's the way the series is going to go. The only way the Penguins lose is if the goaltender stands on his head, and the Penguins and the Islanders can use some of that speed to score some goals, because they're not as talented as the Penguins. But I don't know. I think people should have seen enough in the last 2 games. This team's fast, and the Penguins are having trouble dealing with that speed.